Admiral James Walker stood alone in the observation deck of Haven Deep, his weathered hands holding a small crystal that glowed with a soft blue light. The space station's massive windows revealed the endless darkness of space, broken only by distant stars and the occasional flash of patrol ships. At age 82, he was one of the last pure-blood humans born from the original Earth survivors. The crystal in his hands contained humanity's most precious and painful memory, Earth's final moments. Every year, on the anniversary of Earth's destruction, he would replay it. Today marked exactly 3,000 years since that terrible day. "Begin playback," he commanded softly. The crystal projected a holographic scene around him. The beautiful blue marble that was Earth appeared before his eyes, just as it had looked in 2254. Tears formed in his eyes as he watched green continents and blue oceans shimmer in the sunlight. Then the Galactic Council's ships appeared, thousands of them, surrounding Earth like a swarm of deadly insects, their energy weapons charged with a sickly purple glow. The Council had declared humanity too unpredictable and a future threat to galactic stability. Without warning or mercy, they had decided to eliminate the entire human race. The recording showed Earth's defenses activating. Primitive by today's standards, but impressive for their time. Orbital defense platforms fired their railguns. Nuclear missiles streaked through space. Earth's small fleet of space vessels fought bravely against impossible odds. Walker watched as the Council ships systematically destroyed every human defense. Their energy weapons carved burning lines across Earth's surface, boiling away oceans and shattering continents. The recording captured the final transmission from Earth Command. "To any humans who survive, remember us, remember Earth, and someday make them pay." The hologram showed the final moment. Earth's core destabilizing, the planet breaking apart in a terrible flash of light. Over 8 billion lives erased in an instant. But the Council had made one crucial mistake. They hadn't known about the quantum tunnels. Deep beneath the surface, in hardened bunkers around the world, millions of humans had escaped through experimental quantum tunnels. The technology was new, untested, and dangerous. Many didn't survive the journey, but enough did, scattered across distant galaxies, far beyond the Council's reach. Walker closed his eyes as the recording ended. Opening them again, he looked at the digital display on the wall. Haven Deep Station. Current date, 52-54-147. 3,000 years of waiting, planning, and preparing were about to end. He walked to his command console and pressed his palm against the scanner. "Computer, initiate Legacy Protocol Alpha. Authorization. Walker Earth Final." The station's AI responded immediately. "Legacy Protocol Alpha confirmed. Transmitting activation codes to all sleeper cells and hidden bases. Operation Ghost begins in 30 standard days." Screens around him lit up with confirmation signals from across the galaxy. Millions of human agents, embedded deep within alien societies, were receiving their activation codes. Descendants of the original survivors, they had waited generations for this moment. A gentle chime announced someone's arrival. Dr. Anna Stone entered the observation deck, her white lab coat marking her as one of Haven Deep's leading scientists. "Admiral, the Quantum Disruption Network is ready. 3,000 years of development, and it works exactly as designed." She paused, studying his expression. "Are you certain about the timing?" Walker nodded slowly, placing the crystal back in its protected case. "The Council believes they eliminated humanity 3,000 years ago. They'd grown complacent, arrogant. Their technology has barely advanced since Earth's destruction." He turned to face the stars again. "But we've been busy. Every generation of survivors has contributed to this moment. Now we have technology they can't even comprehend. And they'll never see us coming," Dr. Stone added quietly. Walker's expression hardened. "No, they won't. The Council thought they were eliminating a threat. Instead, they created something far more dangerous, a humanity united by a single purpose: tempered by 3 millennia of preparation. He straightened his uniform. Send the final confirmation. Operation Ghost begins now. Across the galaxy, hidden human forces began to move. The revenge of Earth was about to begin. Dr. Anna Stone walked through the hidden laboratory deep within Haven Deep Station, her footsteps echoing off metal walls. Around her, hundreds of screens showed live feeds from human colonies scattered across the galaxy. Each colony represented a different branch of humanity's evolution over 3,000 years. She stopped at the largest display, showing the ice caves of Europa Colony. There, humans had adapted to extreme cold, their skin slightly blue and their eyes larger to see in the dim light. On another screen, the desert world of New Phoenix showed humans who had developed copper-toned skin that could withstand intense radiation. Display Project Phoenix status, she commanded. The main screen changed to show a complex diagram of what looked like a simple black cube. But this cube was humanity's ultimate weapon, designed to bring down the entire Council's technology network. Tom Reed, her assistant, approached with a datapad. The latest reports from our embedded agents are in. The Council still has no idea we exist. Their arrogance is almost funny. They've written books about how they saved the galaxy by destroying the dangerous humans. Anna smiled coldly. 3,000 years, and they never thought to look beyond their borders. While they celebrated, we were building something they couldn't imagine. She brought up another display showing the human network, millions of sleeper agents placed in every level of Council society. Some agents were merchants, spreading human technology disguised as their own inventions. Others worked as servants in Council homes, gathering intelligence. The most valuable ones had risen to positions of power, ready to sabotage the Council from within when the signal came. Show me the evolution map, Anna requested. The screen filled with a diagram of human genetic developments. After the quantum tunnel escape, surviving humans had faced harsh environments on distant worlds. Instead of dying, they had adapted. Each colony developed unique traits, but all remained connected through the hidden quantum communication network. Some colonies focused on developing physical strength, others on enhancing intelligence. The New Phoenix colony had mastered biotechnology, while Europa's people excelled in quantum physics. Together, they had advanced far beyond Earth's original technology. Tom pointed to a flashing alert. Look at this. Our agent in the Council's science division just confirmed they still use the same quantum network protocols from 3,000 years ago. They thought they were perfect, so they never improved. Perfect. Anna laughed quietly. They murdered 8 billion people because they were afraid we might become dangerous. They never understood that their actions would create exactly what they feared. She walked to a sealed chamber in the back of the lab. Inside, floating in a quantum field, was a piece of the original quantum tunnel device that had saved humanity. It had taken generations to understand how it worked, but now they had mastered it completely. Begin Final Project Phoenix diagnostics, she ordered. The black cube in the main display began to pulse with a faint red light. This simple-looking device contained technology that could disable any system based on Council protocols. When activated, it would spread through their network like a virus, shutting down everything from their weapons to their life support systems. All agents report ready, Tom said, checking the latest updates. The Council's own security forces are now 40% human infiltrators. Their communication hubs are compromised. Their defense networks have our backdoors installed. Anna nodded slowly. 3,000 years of patience, of hiding, of remembering. She touched the screen showing the Council's capital world. They thought they killed us all, but instead they forced us to become stronger, to evolve, to unite in ways we never would have on Earth. A message flashed across her screen. Admiral Walker had initiated Legacy Protocol Alpha. Anna straightened her lab coat and turned to Tom. Send the activation codes to all Project Phoenix units. It's time to show the Council that humanity's children have come home. Across the galaxy, Hidden human agents received their signals. Project Phoenix was ready. The revenge of the scattered children of Earth was about to begin. High Counselor Rex stood at the top of the council tower, his 4 eyes gazing out over the capital city of New Unity. The city sparkled with the same perfect beauty it had maintained for thousands of years. As leader of the Galactic Council, he ruled over 10,000 species across millions of worlds. Everything was in perfect order, just as it had been since the Great Cleansing of 2254. My lord, his assistant Peter appeared behind him. The quarterly reports are ready for your review. Rex turned, his scaled skin reflecting the light. Anything interesting, or the same perfect stability we've enjoyed for 3 millennia? Well, Peter hesitated, adjusting his uniform. There are some unusual patterns in the data. Small things, probably nothing important. Rex walked to his crystal desk and sat down. Show me these small things. Even perfect order requires attention to detail. The assistant brought up several holographic charts. Our quantum network has been experiencing micro delays. They last only milliseconds, but they're spreading. Also, several outer colonies reported power fluctuations in their defense systems. Technical problems. Rex dismissed them with a wave. Send a maintenance crew. The Council's technology is perfect. It has served us without fail since we saved the galaxy from humanity. Peter nodded, but continued. There's more. The Science Division reports that some colonies are using technology they don't recognize. Nothing dangerous, just different. And our security force noted unusual patterns in personnel transfers. Rex's upper eyes narrowed. Different how? What patterns? The new technology seems more advanced than ours in some ways. As for the patterns, Peter brought up another chart. Over the past century, there's been a gradual increase in transfer requests to key positions, all perfectly legal, all with proper documentation. But when we look at the overall movement, it almost looks planned. Rex finished, standing up again. Something stirred in his memory. Old warning signs that humanity had shown before the Council decided to eliminate them. But that was impossible. Humanity was gone, destroyed to protect the galaxy from their unpredictable nature. A soft chime interrupted his thoughts. Emergency alert from the Outer Defense Network, the computer announced. Multiple system failures detected. Cause unknown. Rex moved to his command console. Show me the affected sectors. A map appeared, displaying dozens of red warning indicators spread across Council space. This is impossible. Our systems are perfect. They haven't failed in 3,000 years. My lord, Peter's voice had changed, becoming harder. I should mention one more pattern we detected. He touched his console, and new data appeared. We've been tracking genetic variations in Council space, specifically comparing old human DNA markers with current population samples. Rex's scales paled. Why would you track human DNA? They're extinct. We eliminated them completely. Did we? Peter's question hung in the air. The Council assumed that destroying Earth would kill all humans. Did anyone ever confirm that? Did anyone look for survivors? Who are you? Rex demanded, suddenly realizing something was very wrong. Security. Peter smiled coldly. Security won't come. They're busy dealing with system failures across the city. As for who I am, he straightened to his full height. I'm what you feared humans would become. We adapted. We evolved. We infiltrated. And now, after 3,000 years, we've come home. Alarms began blaring throughout the Council Tower. The perfect order of 3 millennia was shattering. Rex watched in horror as more red warnings appeared on his display. Defense systems failing. Communication networks crashing. Security forces in chaos. Impossible, he whispered. We destroyed you. No, Peter replied calmly. You forced us to become stronger. You thought humanity was dangerous before. You should see what 3,000 years of focused evolution and a single driving purpose can create. Outside, The perfect city of New Unity descended into chaos as 3 millennia of complacency came crashing down. Humanity's revenge had begun, and the Council was about to learn the true cost of their arrogance. Admiral Walker stood in Haven Deep's command center, watching as thousands of signals lit up across the galactic map. Each light represented a human agent activating their part of Operation Ghost. 3,000 years of planning were turning into action. "Status report," he commanded. Commander Reed's voice came through the communication system. "All sleeper cells are active, sir. Our agents in the Council's military have disabled 70% of their emergency response capabilities. Their quantum communication network is showing the first signs of infection from Project Phoenix." Walker nodded, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Begin Phase 2. Signal all hidden fleets to move into position." Across Council space, ships began emerging from secret bases. These weren't the primitive vessels humanity had 3,000 years ago. These ships were built with technology the Council couldn't understand, the result of countless generations of development in hidden colonies. Dr. Stone's voice joined the command channel. "Admiral, Project Phoenix is fully deployed. The Council's entire network will fail in exactly 6 hours. Their weapons, shields, and life support systems will all go dark at once." In the Council capital, alarms were still blaring. High Counselor Rex watched in horror as more systems failed every minute. His perfect order was crumbling around him. Emergency channels were filled with panicked reports from across Council space. "My lord," a security officer called out, "we're detecting unknown ships appearing everywhere. They're using some kind of advanced stealth technology we've never seen before." Rex slammed his fist on the console. "Impossible. No one has technology more advanced than the Council. We've ruled for 3,000 years. "Correction," Peter said calmly, still standing in the Council chamber. "You've been stagnant for 3,000 years. While you celebrated destroying Earth, we were evolving, advancing, preparing." On Haven Deep, Walker received confirmation that all pieces were in place. "Begin broadcast," he ordered. Every screen and communication device in Council space suddenly activated, showing his face. "To the Galactic Council and all its member species," Walker began, his voice firm. 3,000 years ago, you committed genocide against humanity. You destroyed our homeworld and murdered 8 billion innocent people because you feared what we might become." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Your fear was justified. We did become something new, something stronger than you could imagine. We survived. We evolved. We infiltrated every level of your society. And now we've come to collect payment for your crimes." In the Council tower, Rex watched helplessly as his perfect world collapsed. Defense stations were going dark. Patrol ships were losing power. Communication systems were failing across the galaxy. 3 millennia of complacency had left them vulnerable. Primary systems failing. The computer announced. Backup systems compromised. Emergency protocols inactive. On Haven Deep, Dr. Stone monitored Project Phoenix's progress. "The quantum disruption is spreading faster than expected, Admiral. Their entire technology base is shutting down. They have no defense against this." Walker nodded grimly. "Signal all forces. Proceed with final phase. Secure all Council facilities. Remember, we're not here for revenge alone. We're here to build something better than what they created." Across the galaxy, human ships moved into position around Council worlds. On each planet, sleeper agents emerged from hiding, taking control of key facilities. The Council's mighty empire, built on the ashes of Earth, was falling to the very people they had tried to destroy. 3,000 years, Walker said quietly, watching the operation unfold. "They thought time would make us forget. Instead, it made us stronger, more focused, more dangerous than they ever imagined we could become." Commander Reed's voice came through again. "All primary targets secured, Admiral. The Council's leadership is contained. Operation Ghost is proceeding exactly as planned." The revenge of humanity was no longer just a promise. It was becoming reality. And the galaxy would never be the same. The first direct battle between human and Council forces took place above the Council's primary military base on planet Garrison. 3 massive Council warships faced a single human vessel that seemed tiny in comparison. High Commander Rex watched from his emergency command center, expecting an easy victory. "Destroy that ship," he ordered. "Show these human survivors what real power looks like." The Council warships fired their energy weapons, the same technology that had destroyed Earth 3,000 years ago. But something impossible happened. The human ship's shields didn't just absorb the attack. They reflected it back, destroying one of the Council ships instantly. "How?" Rex demanded, his scales turning pale with fear. "That's impossible. No shield technology can do that." In Haven Deep's command center, Admiral Walker watched the battle through secure quantum feeds. "Show them what 3,000 years of evolution can do," he ordered. "All ships, engage at will." The human vessel's hull opened like a flower blooming in space. Energy coursed through patterns that the Council's sensors couldn't understand. Then it fired, not energy weapons or missiles, but something new. A wave of quantum disruption spread out, touching the remaining Council ships. Their systems simply stopped working, leaving them dead in space. "Status report," Walker commanded. Dr. Stone's voice came through clearly. "Project Phoenix is working better than expected. 80% of Council space is now under our control. Their technology is useless against us. They never imagined we could advance so far beyond them." Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. Council forces found themselves facing an enemy that had spent 3,000 years preparing for this moment. Human ships appeared from quantum tunnels, using technology that made them practically invisible until they chose to reveal themselves. In the Council Tower, Rex watched his empire crumble. Emergency reports flooded in from every sector. Central Command has fallen. Defense grid completely offline. Unknown ships appearing everywhere. We've lost contact with all outer colonies. You don't understand what you've done, Rex said to Peter, who still stood calmly watching everything unfold. The Council maintains order in the galaxy. Without us, there will be chaos. Peter smiled coldly. The Council murdered 8 billion humans because you were afraid of change. You've had power for 3,000 years. And what did you do with it? Nothing. You stopped growing. Stopped improving. You just sat in your towers, telling everyone how perfect you were. On Haven Deep, Walker received word that the Council's last major fleet was gathering for a final stand. "They're desperate now," Commander Reed reported. "They've called in every ship they have left." "Good," Walker replied. "Let's finish this. Signal all forces. Execute final attack pattern. Show them everything we've become." The Council's fleet of 10,000 ships faced just 100 human vessels. Rex watched from his command center, praying this overwhelming force would be enough. Attack. Destroy them all. But 3,000 years had changed everything. The human ships moved in ways that seemed to break the laws of physics. Their weapons ignored shields that had been invincible for millennia. Their technology made the Council's greatest achievements look primitive. The battle lasted less than 10 minutes. When it was over, Walker opened a channel to all Council worlds. "Your fleet is defeated. Your defenses are down. Your technology is disabled. 3,000 years ago, you feared what humanity might become. You were right to be afraid." He paused, letting his words sink in. "But we're not like you. We didn't spend 3 millennia standing still. We evolved. We improved. We learned. And now we're going to fix what you broke." Rex watched his perfect world end, finally understanding the true cost of the Council's ancient crime. They had tried to eliminate a threat, but instead had created something far more powerful than they could have imagined. Humanity had returned, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Council's emergency bunker, deep beneath the capital city, had been designed to withstand any attack. For 3,000 years, it had never been needed. Now, High Counselor Rex huddled there with the remaining council leaders, watching their last hopes fade away. "Try the emergency quantum transmitter again," Rex ordered, his voice shaking. The junior officer pressed the activation switch repeatedly. Nothing happened. The quantum network that had served them for 3 millennia was dead, killed by human technology they couldn't understand. "My lord," one of the council members spoke up, "perhaps we should consider surrender. The humans control everything now. Our ships are disabled. Our weapons are useless. Our communications are gone." Above ground, Admiral Walker walked through the streets of the council capital. Human ships hovered in the sky, their advanced technology keeping the peace. Dr. Stone walked beside him, checking readings on her quantum scanner. "Project Phoenix worked perfectly," she reported. "Their entire technology network is under our control. 3,000 years of council rule ended in less than a day." Walker nodded, looking at the mighty towers around them. They built all this thinking they were perfect, that they'd reached the peak of evolution, that nothing could ever threaten them again. "Their biggest mistake," Peter said, joining them, "was thinking that destroying Earth would end humanity. They never understood what makes humans special. We adapt, we evolve, we survive." In the bunker, the council's sensors detected movement above. The bunker door, which they thought was impenetrable, opened smoothly. Human soldiers walked in, their advanced armor making them look like beings from another dimension. "High Counselor Rex," Walker said, entering the bunker. 3,000 years ago, your council decided that humanity was too dangerous to exist. You destroyed our world, murdered our people, all because you were afraid of what we might become." Rex stood straighter, trying to maintain his dignity. "We did what was necessary to protect the galaxy. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous." "No," Walker replied calmly. "You were arrogant. You thought you had reached perfection, that your way was the only right way. So you killed 8 billion people rather than risk any change to your perfect order." Dr. Stone activated a holographic display, showing images of human colonies across the galaxy. "Look at what we became. While you stayed exactly the same for 3,000 years, we evolved. Each colony developed new strengths, new technologies, new ways of thinking. We could have taught you so much," Peter added. "Earth could have been your greatest ally. Instead, you made us your greatest nightmare." Rex looked at the images in wonder. Humans living in space stations that seemed to defy physics. Colonies thriving in environments the Council had thought impossible to survive. Technology that made the Council's greatest achievements look primitive. What will you do with us?" Rex asked quietly. Walker's expression was firm but not cruel. "Justice, not genocide. You'll stand trial for Earth's destruction, but we won't repeat your mistakes. We won't kill billions out of fear." Dr. Stone activated another device. Around them, council systems began coming back online, but changed, improved by human technology. "Your civilization will survive," Walker explained. "But the old council is finished. It's time for something new, something better. A galaxy where progress isn't feared, where different species work together, where evolution is celebrated, not punished." Rex sank into his chair, 3,000 years of certainty crumbling around him. "We thought we were protecting the galaxy from humanity," he whispered. "But you've become something far greater than we ever imagined possible." "That's the price of arrogance," Walker replied. "You tried to destroy us because you feared change. Instead, you forced us to change more than anyone thought possible. Now it's your turn to evolve, or fade into history." Outside, the sun was setting on the last day of council rule. A new era was beginning, shaped by the very species they had tried to erase from existence. 1 year after the fall of the council, Admiral Walker stood in the newly built Hall of Remembrance on Haven Deep. The massive chamber held a perfect holographic replica of Earth, floating peacefully above a memorial listing the names of the 8 billion lives lost. Below it, the former council leaders waited to hear their sentences. High Counselor Rex and his fellow council members stood in a circle, surrounded by representatives from every species in the galaxy. The trial had lasted 6 months, with evidence gathered from 3,000 years of council records. Walker stepped forward to deliver the judgment. 3,000 years ago, the Galactic Council committed genocide against humanity. Today, justice will finally be served. He paused, looking at each council member. But justice does not mean revenge. Dr. Stone joined him at the podium, activating a holographic display showing thousands of worlds. For 3 millennia, the council stopped progress. They feared change so much that they murdered an entire world. We will not make the same mistake. Your sentence, Walker announced, is to live among the human colonies you tried to prevent from existing. Each of you will be sent to a different colony, where you will learn what humanity has become. You will help build the new galaxy you tried to prevent. Rex looked up in surprise. He had expected execution. You're letting us live. Of course, Peter replied, standing nearby. Death is easy. Learning is hard. You'll live to see everything you feared come true. A galaxy of constant change and evolution. And you'll help make it happen. Walker activated another display, showing the new Galactic Alliance that had replaced the Council. Unlike the old system, this one encouraged growth and difference. Species that had been held back under Council rule were now free to develop their own paths. Humanity's greatest strength, Walker explained, was never our technology or our adaptability. It was our ability to learn from our mistakes. Now you'll learn from yours. Dr. Stone stepped forward. The quantum tunnels that saved us have been improved. We've already established contact with 30 new galaxies. Exploration ships are ready to make first contact with 1,000 new species. The age of standing still is over. The chamber's displays showed scenes from across human space. The ice miners of Europa Colony working with Council engineers to improve their technology. The desert adaptations of New Phoenix being used to terraform dead worlds. The advanced quantum physics of Haven Deep opening new frontiers of science. 3,000 years ago, Walker continued, you destroyed our world because you feared what we might become. You were right to be afraid, but for the wrong reasons. We became something greater than you imagined, not because of your destruction, but in spite of it. He turned to address the gathered representatives. The human colonies will share their advancements with everyone. Our quantum tunnels, our adaptive biology, our advanced technology. It all belongs to the galaxy now. We'll build something better than the Council ever imagined possible. The former Council members were led away to begin their new lives. As they left, Peter activated the final display, a memorial showing the moment of Earth's destruction, followed by humanity's rebirth and evolution across the stars. Did we get the revenge we wanted? Dr. Stone asked quietly. Walker smiled, watching the galaxy map fill with new exploration routes and contact points. We got something better. We proved them wrong. They thought they were ending our story. Instead, they just wrote the first chapter. Above them, the holographic Earth continued to spin, no longer a reminder of loss, but a symbol of humanity's greatest triumph, surviving, evolving, and building a better future from the ashes of destruction. In the end, humanity's revenge wasn't destruction, it was creation. They had taken the Council's greatest fear and turned it into the galaxy's greatest hope. A new dawn had truly begun, and this time, no one would face it alone.